what should we send as a gift to a new hire or a new hiring manager upon placement? That's interesting. An invoice. That's the gift. No, it's a good question. I think that commonly people send gifts, right? Now you got to be real careful because for the company, on the company side, a lot of times there's rules and laws, policies in the company that say no, they can't accept a gift, right? So you don't want to get someone in trouble. I actually stopped sending gifts upon placement. I would have to go back 10 years. Now, I'm not cheap with it, right? At all. Not cheap. I mean, like you heard Jacob earlier, who I sent the coat rack to, right? I mean, I send crazy things to people, but not upon placement. And here's why. If I just accepted a job and then my recruiter sends me a edible basket, right? Like it's got fruit and on sticks, or maybe it has candy bars on sticks and it looks like a bouquet, but it's food. I just got a new job. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, wasn't that nice of them? It was. You're way better off to send that gift like a month in, or 6 months in, or a 1-year anniversary, or, send it at Thanksgiving. Thank you for being part of our client base. Or send it at Valentine's Day and say, we love having you as our candidate. Or send it on St. Patrick's Day and say, we feel lucky to have you as our client.
All right, now here I'm going to give you the slight difference of opinion. Again, Trish and I, being totally different people, don't always think the same way. That edible basket, first of all, I'm going to say, go to hell with fruit. Why would you send something that attracts fruit flies? No, send me an edible basket that is cookies on sticks way before that. I love those. And here's what it does. Let's say that you send this to your hiring manager to arrive on the same day as your new employee is supposed to get there. You have this situation where what you've actually given the hiring manager is the gift of popularity. I have this basket full of muffins. They're not going to sit in their office all day eating a dozen muffins. Probably. Some of them will. But for the rest, what they're going to do is share the muffins. Great muffins. Where did you get them? Oh, the recruiter that I used for the new guy sent them today. Oh, what recruiter did you use? I want to be that conversation. I want that, associate the new person and the recruiter and the, delicious sweetness that is not, pineapple on a stick. So I want that association. So I am good to send it on a starting day, probably not to my candidate, unless, again, it's to where they work, because then they can get that gift of popularity while they give out their muffins. Oh, the recruiter that found me, for this job, that's where I got these. They can share that. I still think it's more powerful from the hiring manager. And the gift that I just gave the candidate is a career that they're going to love and be paid well for.
Okay, so I have to just read Lee's because it's too fun. How can you two be so fun and cool and know all this nerdy shift? That was great. We've been at it a long time, Lee, right? We teach a lot of different classes and run our desks and coach. And so I'd like to say we've seen it all, right? I know that's not true because I'm constantly surprised by stuff, but we've been at it a long time.
Well, and I will say it's because that there's cool nerd and there's uncool nerd. And on Monday, Tricia and I actually took the day off of work to go to the Star Wars celebration in Chicago and spend the day with Star Wars. Now, Star Wars and the Star Wars celebration falls in the category of cool nerd. And if I told you guys right now that we spent the day at a Babylon 5 conference, everybody would be either Googling Babylon 5 or rolling your eyes at wow, no, these guys are nerds, right? So you can be a cool nerd. It's certainly possible.
You certainly can.